Hello, this is Mary Prasad. Visit me at artbymdp.blogspot.com. In this tutorial, I'll teach you how to use Versacolor white pigment ink and Memento dye inks to create this interesting shadow look. The supplies you need to create this card are listed on the screen. First, cut an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of craft cardstock in half, then score it at 4 1/4 inches and fold it in half. Next, use a pencil and ruler to draw guidelines the size of your stamp with some space in between the rows. Start by stamping all the rows of Versacolor white pigment ink, and then we're going to top that later with Memento dye inks in different colors. I'm going to put them in the order that I'm going to stamp them. The best stamps for this project are going to be ones with a lot of solid area. Geometric shapes work well, and maybe hearts or flowers. I decided to use this triangle made up of squares. I did some practice runs with different shapes and decided I like this one the best. Before you begin stamping, you may want to take a Sharpie and draw guides on your acrylic block for lining up your triangles as you stamp. Be sure to ink up your stamp really well and take your time stamping. I use a damp car chamois to clean up any messes. They're fairly lint-free and they do a good job cleaning. Start each row by stamping the full design in the middle somewhere and then working on either side to fill out the rest of the row. You'll want to decide which row you want to put the sentiment in. I'm going to put mine in this row and start stamping on the next row. If your acrylic block becomes too full of ink, just give it a good wipe and then continue stamping. You're going to want to clean the stamp really well in between colors for the next round, so I'm using a stamp scrubber to do this. It's important to note that each stamp will be just slightly offset from the original white stamp. Start with your first color, ink up your stamp, use the guides to line it up, stamp it slightly offset, and then clean the stamp. I'm actually using the stamp scrubber off screen, so you're just going to see me use the damp cloth on the screen. Then you're going to move on to the next color, and you're going to repeat this until you're done. Don't worry too much about the stamping being perfect. It's a handmade card after all. At this point, I'm going to erase most of the guidelines, except I'll leave 2 in so I can line up my sentiment. I'm using a MISTI tool to line up my sentiment, but you could use a stamp press or just an acrylic block. VersaFine is perfect for clear, crisp stamping. Use a little rubbing alcohol to clean off the guidelines. After erasing my final guidelines, I just added a little bling to the card with some sequins. You really only need a small dot of glue to do this. I rather overdid it, as you'll see here. Here's a final look at the card. For more information, please visit artbymdp.blogspot.com.